You read the title correctly. Can you no-hit Limbo on brutal difficulty? This is the question I seek to find an answer to. Now, part of this challenge was to add some difficulty to this, so I also made it so that I have to use weapons that are available to me. For example, I may not use the rocket launcher in Limbo. My arsenal is limited to the revolver, shotgun, and nail gun. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing because Social Blade says by mid next year I should have at least 1,000 subscribers. But I want to prove them wrong, so if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. It helps out a ton. This took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and I have a lot of schoolwork, so I really hope you enjoy. Consider subscribing, and let's get to the video. And this is where the action begins. A few drones spawn on top of me, and I try to make quick work of them, but there's one problem, and it's that we're on brutal difficulty. Trying to hit these guys are really annoying. They're really evasive, and they shoot a lot of bullets. After clearing those, I very cautiously try and take out the next batch. Also very hesitantly, you'll notice a lot of the times I'm going behind the gate in order to kill them. A bunch more enemies spawn, and my real goal is to just not get hit. I'm in a very tight hallway. That makes dodging a lot more difficult compared to places I'm more familiar with, like the cyber grind. And so once I finally clear all the enemies very evasively, I go on to the next room and I get ready because you'll notice Marie spawns in, and I have to be very careful. But I use the nail gun to deal with it, so it's not too bad. A few strays spawned behind me, and they all just bunched up together for some reason. I killed them like that. I then used the nail gun to make quick work of all the filth, while backing as far away as humanly possible. And a bunch more projectile enemies spawn, and a lot of drones. If I'm going to be completely honest, trying to do things no-hit often resulted... It was the drones that mostly caused a lot of my failures. And so we get the blue skull, we leave. I'm faced against two drones. Very hesitantly, I take both of them out. And this room, there's also a ton more enemies. So again, I kind of just take my time, take good advantage of the fact that explosions can go through walls, and a lot of nail gun spamming here. I'm being very cautious because in rooms like that, you're in a not so good position when you're being chased by filths that just constantly jump at you. Those strays try and shoot me, but thankfully Hikita just decides to put candles in the areas where I was about to get hit. And now this room was also, it was a little bit difficult because you're just being constantly shot at. I oftentimes just got really scared because I got really far into the level. You'll see I just barely dodged that bullet. So I'm really just trying to be careful here in Limbo. I mean, compared to my other video, I was mostly just playing a lot more aggressively, but now I'm playing a lot more defensively because there's a lot more projectile spam, more variety of enemies, better enemy placements in my opinion. And you'll even notice I'm using a few cheap tricks like shooting coins behind walls while I'm guaranteed in cover. But other than that, it's kind of a must. It's kind of a must in this level because I'm constantly being surrounded by drones and whatnot. After finishing off the final evasive drone, I click the button just because I can. I don't end up using the alternate pistol, but it's whatever. I no-hit this level, and I can move on to the next. On an unrelated side note, this video was very delayed. I actually recorded most of this footage in 2024, and now it's 2025, and yeah, let's just say a lot happened. Anyhow, back to the Ultrakill. I initially used the electric railgun to take out all the filths, as you can see, and one personally annoying nitpick about this level was the beginning part where sometimes the enemies just wouldn't spawn, and so I would beat the entire level but because I missed like an enemy that didn't spawn, that I did not spawn, it would just tell me, oh, you didn't P rank it. You didn't no hit, but you didn't P rank. Pretty annoying. Anyhow, as you can see, most of my strategy involves the electric railgun because I'm pretty much abusing the fact that when you kill an enemy with the electric cord attached to it, it basically shocks everything else around it, basically trivializing any like filth in the area and related enemies. And moving forth from that, now we find our new enemy, the street cleaners, and honestly, the street cleaners are very annoying on brutal difficulty because one fun fact about them is their flamethrowers are actually adjusted slightly. Like before it'd be like a just flat, like just in a straight line. Now they can move it slightly upwards, like about 30-ish degrees or something. So if you're in the air, you're not safe from the street cleaners and they will get you. One more thing I'd like to mention about the nail gun is that the magnets increase the range for the electric shocks. So if I wanted, so usually you'll notice that I put magnets all over the place in an arena, especially a small arena like this one, so that way I can get every single last enemy like very efficiently. And as you can see, this room isn't, this room caused me a lot of trouble, but I make it look a lot easier than it actually is. Now enter 1-3, the reason why this video took so long. Actually no, that's not entirely true. There are other reasons this video took kinda long, but like this level took me about maybe a week-ish to actually that's not even true. I actually don't even remember how long this took me, but I do remember that this level caused me a lot of trouble because in order to P rank it, you have to do the two rooms. You have to go through both skulls, the red skull and the blue skull, and to do that you have to go through the onslaught of like unique and different enemies, which is incredibly annoying, especially because you're trying to do a no-hit. So imagine doing 2 entire halls of just pure enemies just to freaking P rank. It was so annoying. As you can see, I'm using a lot of the strategies I mentioned before. I use the red revolver to deal with certain enemies. I use the electric nail gun and a lot of dodging and a lot of evasiveness. You'll notice that I like to use the surroundings next to me as much as possible because they give me as much cover as possible, and I'll also try and like kill multiple enemies before they have a chance to actually do anything super harmful. And in this room in particular, I take advantage of certain spawning mechanics because certain enemies will only spawn if certain things have died. Like I'm pretty sure after you kill one of those street cleaners, a Marie spawns, and if you kill both of them, both Marie spawn, which is really annoying. So I like to keep at least one street cleaner alive, but it appears in the footage that it wasn't the street cleaners that depends on the Maries. I honestly forgot. This video, I recorded the footage so long ago, I kind of forgot a lot of the stuff. But yeah, you get the deal. Moving past this super annoying room, I go into another reason as to why this video took so long. This room is full of filth in the bottom, a bunch of drones, some freaking this is why I shouldn't do my videos unscripted, but I always do them unscripted. Those street cleaners. Because there are many street cleaners, I basically can't even stay on the ground, and if I go anywhere near that red skull, a bunch more enemies decide to spawn. So my main strategy here is to stay airborne and really far away from the enemies and try and take them out as far away as possible, because obviously I'm not giving them an opportunity to hit me, but I can still hit them from a really long time. And you also notice that I love projectile boosting because it's ridiculously overpowered in the early game. if I'm being completely honest. And yeah. Listen, man, I can only commentate for so long on Ultrakill footage. There's only so much interesting things I can say. I'm not trying to extend the video's length or anything. It's just I don't even get ad revenue right now. It's just that there's I don't know. I'm just kind of yapping, if I'm being honest. Should also be noted that this level is also probably the longest one I've done so far. There is so much freaking stuff to do, so much enemies to kill, and I had to do it all no hit, bruh. Having finally dealt with all the enemies, I go ahead and grab the soap, and there's one strategic purpose for the soap, and it's not to wash my hands, and no, it's not to take a bath. It's to one-shot this guy. Yeah, Ultrakill is such a weird game. I don't understand, man. I don't understand it either. Okay, I don't understand it either. To finally end off our Limbo no hit, I'd like you to watch. Just watch how this unfolds.